Okay, friends, so what we're gonna make this week are topsy-turvy birthday cakes because Miss Audrey's birthday was this past Friday on April 3rd. So we're gonna make a topsy-turvy, as tall as we can get it cake. So using the outside edge of our paper, I'm gonna make this side quite a bit taller. So I'm gonna use the red line on this side. Now there's a couple tricks to this that you have to follow. Now I'm using a Sharpie, and because I'm using a Sharpie, I have to be careful of what lines I'm drawing, because if I go and I draw the back part of my cake, I can't draw the next layer without it looking weird. Now here I'm going to draw a shallow curved line because I want it to look like it's curved, and then from here to here I'm going to draw a shallow curved line. And then I'm not going to draw that. Oh, I almost did it. I'm going to draw this side. Since this side is shorter, I'm going to start on this side. And I'm going to go about 1 finger width in. And I'm going to make this side a bit taller than what I'm going to do on this side. So I'm going to stop where this one is. See how I'm lining them up on the lines where they stop? So where you start your line on the side is where the other one, the top of the other one has stopped. So I just move my space over. So this one, I'm not going to start it down here because that's not quite what we're looking for. So I'm going to start it here. Again, 1 finger width in. And then this one is going to be shorter and it's going to dip down. Okay. Now, this side over here is going to round in that way. And then this side over here is going to round that way. So now we can draw the back part of our cake. Now over here, I'm going to draw a shallow curved line. And then I'm going to draw the front of this cake from here to here. Now we're going to draw, again, 1 finger width in. Now this side, remember, I stopped on this line with this one. So I'm going to take 1 finger in. And then I'm going to draw up, and this side's going to be taller this side because we want to alternate which side is taller and which side is shorter. So again, from here, 1 finger width in, and I'm going to make that go to there. And now we can draw the back part of the cake and the back part of the cake. Again, a shallow line to show how it's kind of a little crazy. And then we're going to draw a line right there. And then we have room, we can draw more. So I'm going to draw another one here. This one's going to be real short. We're almost, I think this is going to be our top layer, and I'm going to take that up. Okay, so we're going to draw that. And we're going to draw that line, and draw that line. So it's not a topsy-turvy as in it's going to fall over cake. If you want to try that, go right on ahead. Now, the next step of it is we're going to do frosting. So you can get as dribbly or as simple as you want for your organic frosting look. I've had, in my other class, here I'll show you what we did. In my other classes, what we did, you can do a simple one like that too. But we made ours bigger, and we're being extra about this because it's Miss Audrey's cake. So we gotta be extra about how we do things. And they can be, you know, just keep this line very organic looking because that's our frosting. And I like dribbly frosting. I like going along the edge and putting some melted frosting along the sides of it. I don't know. Okay, so that part's cool. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna decorate the inside of each one of these cake layers with Zentangles. And a Zentangle cake layer is just like I showed you, and then we're gonna make big triangles, okay? So I'm going to go up and come down. I'm going up and coming down. Because even though this is a crazy looking cake, we're going to have a little, oops, I drew into that. That's okay. A little bit of organization. So that's a little topsy-turvy. Now this one is going to have a little bit less because we're getting smaller and smaller. And you see how I'm making them wider in the smaller ones so that I can do more patterns. Now, in these bigger areas, I'm going to do bigger patterns. So for example, a nice big pattern to do in one of your spaces would be thick horizontal stripes. Now I'm using the lines that are already on the paper to create these. Now another way to do this is I'm going to use and do a V shape, upside down V. And see, I'm running into that frosting and I kind of want it to look a little bit realistic. So I'm pretending to continue to draw and lifting up my marker. So then that might need to be a little bit sharper of a point. And then we'll color in every other stripe. Now some of them, it looks really nice if you have some really bold areas. So if you have a Sharpie, it's a little bit easier for you to color this in. If you don't have a Sharpie, you can just use a regular black marker or you can use paints, you can use crayons, color pencils work fine too. Use whatever materials you have. I'm using a Sharpie because I know that artwork shows up better when I do a Sharpie. So like this one, let's do like some wavy lines. And I always kind of start in the middle because I can always grow my wavy lines. And I like doing that. So always like to add on to the stripes that I'm making. Now I like doing big bold ones first because you can always add small patterns inside of the white spaces, or you can just leave it black and white. It depends on how much detail you want to put into this. Okay. And then for this last one, I'm just going to draw diagonal stripes. All right. Now for these parts, I'm going to make some smaller line patterns. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make some horizontal lines because they're already drawn for us. So I'm just going to use the ones that are there. And if you've been in my class before, you know that I really like doing a zigzag and polka dot pattern. This is my favorite little pattern to do. Another pattern that I have started doing is I'll do horizontal stripes and then, or no, vertical stripes, and then inside I'll do really close together horizontal stripes, and then I put polka dots like that. And then in the next part, another one that I found works really well for this space is you can do overlapping loops. And it's nice that we have these horizontal lines because then we can spread them out. And then I like my polka dots. And as much as they look like they're hard to do, when they're all put together, they look very overwhelming to create, but they're really not, because all you're doing is taking patterns and putting them in different spaces. Now, in this area, I do like to continue the bold stripe sort of thing. So maybe I'm not going to keep repeating the pattern. So we're going to change the patterns in each one of the cake layers. So in this bold area, I think maybe we should do some horizontal stripes that are colored in. So I'm going to color in, so it looks like we've got big, bold, horizontal stripes there. And then this one, I'm going to do a zigzag. So like I said, I like doing them in the middle first because I can see where I need to add and where I need to draw differently for each space. Okay, so I'm going to color in this one. And then I can color in that one. The bold stripes really make it stand out a lot more. And if you make a little mistake, don't worry about it. This one, I think, we have vertical stripes, we have zigzag stripes, we got wavy stripes. What else is a bold stripe? Let's see, what did I use in this one here? Oh, castle line. Let's do a castle line. So we go over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over, up, over, down, over. And then I'm going to color in, I think I'm going to color in this one because it looks like I made a little mistake there. So I'm just going to color it in. Now here's the nice part is when you're using the same material as you did your original drawing, so like I'm just using a Sharpie, I can go through and any little mistakes that I drew with that Sharpie, I can figure out a way to make that mistake look hidden. And now for this one, what I did on another one is I created like a bullseye by drawing half a circle. And then I drew another half a circle. Now we've got some frosting in the way here, so I'm gonna go around it like that. And then I colored in the center. And then I colored it in around here, like that. Now these ones, I'm gonna do one of my harder patterns where we do 1, 2, 3, going one way, 1, 2, 3, going another way, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now this one takes some patience and probably a thinner marker. I just like that this one's a little bit harder looking, but when you actually do it, it's really not. It just looks hard. And then where you just, this one, you just go, let me show you the line pattern. Line patterns, you go 1, 2, 3, and then you go 1, 2, 3. Then you go 1, 2, 3 above it, and then 1, 2, 3 right here. And that creates your pattern. And then this one here, I'm gonna keep it because it's a small space. I'm gonna do a simple pattern in here where you just have some stripes and we have a polka dot going on, and then keep it at a zigzag. Okay, maybe just some more stripes. Maybe we'll just color that in. Maybe I like it like that. That looks different. And then over here, a simple line pattern, maybe just a couple of wavy lines. Okay. Up here, again, we need some bold pattern ideas. So we did diagonal lines, we did a shape. Let's take one of these patterns and make one of these patterns like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the horizontal stripe pattern. I'm going to repeat that pattern, but I'm going to change it slightly. Okay. I'm going to put polka dots in it. Okay. So now that's a similar pattern, but I've changed it. This pattern here, let's do another simple bold stripe pattern. So I'm thinking we can make some vertical stripes. And then maybe we go back and we just do little stripes in there. And then this last one would look pretty good, I think, if we just did some diagonal striping. Now, not as thick because it's a smaller space. And then I'm going to put more dots. These spaces here, let's keep it simple. A zigzag here, and then this one, let's do a classic wavy. Okay, and then this one up here, because it's my favorite pattern, I'm going to do it again, where I do a zigzag and I do polka dots because it's my favorite pattern. Another pattern that we can do, so since we've got a little space here, I'm going to do diagonals here. And then I'm going to just color in this one because I want that to stand out a little bit more. And then I'm going to color in this one. And then I'm putting a dot and a dot. And then this last one, it doesn't have a lot of space, so we can't really do too much here, but let's do it to where we do diagonals going a different way. And then we'll put lines like this. So you can repeat the same elements over and over again, and you're gonna get something nifty out of it. Now on top here, I'm going to put one candle. Don't need to worry about how old I am. I'm going to turn that into that, into that, into that, and then pretty fancy candle. Boop. All right. Now, you can put your cake on a plate if you want. Start around here and you just round it around like that. I didn't really leave room for it, but you can if you want. Now I'm going to use my favorite color because it is my cake after all, and I'm going to use violet, and I'm going to color in the frosting. Now I'm creating emphasis by adding color. Now all of those decorations in there, those create contrast already on their own with each other and against each other. But with the color, oops, that's broken. In the example that I showed you from what I did last class, it actually makes it stand out quite a bit more. And so here's what I did for my younger class. But I'm going to pause this, I'm going to color it in, and then I'm going to show you what I did. Okay guys, that is my finished topsy-turvy birthday cake, and I chose purple or violet because that's my favorite color. And then I did create a little bit of contrast by coloring my flame in yellow. And as we have learned before during our color session, yellow and violet are color opposites and complementary colors. So the color has created emphasis in our cake, and we've made it look a little bit 3D by adding the tops and curving the bottom. So it creates a cylinder that looks like it's been sliced in a way that a cake really shouldn't be. So it creates a slight optical illusion that these are cylinders that are stacked on top of each other. So that is actually showing depth and space in art. I know we haven't quite talked about those things yet, but when it comes to space and art, you're really just showing that you know how to make something look 3D the way that it should. So I think next time we're going to work on one-point perspective, and we'll go over that together another day. And then make sure you take a picture and upload them. And if you're still having trouble with that, please let me know, and I will help you out with that the best I can. Okay, thanks guys, and have a great week.